Hello guys, I guess it's time for us to have a look at the best gemstones of the last month. And I will just quickly remind you that all of the gemstones, well, most of them are already sold because we show you the examples of the gemstones which we picked up individually for our customers. Therefore, if you feel like you would like to order something similar, you just need to have a quick look at the description attached beneath this video. There are the numbers of the gemstones accordingly with the weight and the price on them. Therefore, you just need to send me the message in WhatsApp, which you will also find below the video, and tell me that I would like to order something like number 5, but a little bit bigger, or maybe a bit smaller, or maybe with different budget, maybe darker, maybe lighter, maybe different cards. Then you would need to leave partial prepayment for the gemstone, so we would start looking for it. And then as soon as we find what you are 100% happy with, then we buy this gemstone for you directly from the deposit owner, and we make the official laboratory certificate for that. If you want to do a jewelry piece with that, no problem, we can do that as well. It will be 100% custom made, and as soon as everything ready, we just ship it to you to any part of this world, and you pay the full amount of money for this gemstone or jewelry only upon the arrival of it, only when you actually get it in your hands. Okay, let's start. So number 1 is a beautiful rainbow moonstone from Madagascar. They have discovered the new deposit there recently. Unfortunately, even though the material is absolutely stunning from there, it is very limited. So the moonstones from there sell like crazy. They give us a choice of a few stones, and they always give no more than 1 day to make a decision. If we don't get this stone, it will be going straight away to the next buyer in the line. So the demand on them is very, very high, which is quite understandable if we take into consideration the fact that this moonstone, they perform very beautifully under different kind of lighting conditions. They definitely are very unusual, and they're very clear and big, which is important. Specifically, this piece was something about $20,000, and that's not the highest price for the moonstone. Probably if you are following us for some time, you have already seen a few moonstones which price was over $70,000 and even $100,000. Number 2 to 5 are the natural pearls. Most of them are coming from Tahiti, some of them from Indonesia, specifically from the Lombok Island. You will see on the video that there are all different colors. Some of them are black, some of them are white with pinkish undertones, so they look absolutely amazing. And for those of you who are still feeling a bit skeptical in terms of the investing in pearls, I might say that even before, the natural pearls were increasing in price approximately 30% annually. This year, the price increased by 60%. Why does it happen so? Because some people believe that the natural pearls, they are being cultivated in artificial circumstances, so there is no way that we run out of natural pearls at some point. However, that is unfortunately not 100% true. The problem is that the pearl is actually very difficult to cultivate, as the pearl-bearing shells, they don't just grow anywhere, and as the ecological situation gets worse and worse around the globe, the amount of pearl-bearing shells decreasing significantly every year. Therefore, we get less amount of quality materials in terms of the natural pearls, therefore the price increases. Also, of course, you need to remember that even though a pearl is not a gemstone, you still need to get the official laboratory certificate with it. Doesn't matter if you're buying from us or from somewhere else. Do get it all the time. Never trust anyone's words. Always get the official confirmation of what you have actually bought. Number 6, 7, and 8 are also very much attractive in terms of the investment gemstones, which are the famous Lagoon tourmalines. As you know, we have traveled specifically to Afghanistan to get in touch with the deposit owners personally. As a result, we have got very attractive prices. Just for you to understand how does it work. Of course, you can find the Lagoon tourmaline, which would cost around $600 per carat, but that will be not the quality which we offer, because of course in the gemstone the name it's not all. You have to look how clear the stone is, how bright and vivid it is. What I offer at the moment is the good quality Lagoon tourmalines, which market price is around $2,500 per carat. We sell it now for $1,500 per carat. So it is a significant difference, I believe. The price on these gemstones is just rocketing through the sky right now, and it will keep growing on. So if you want to invest your money, that's a very good option. A lot of my wise friends and customers have already bought 100,000 plus worth Lagoon tourmalines. I bought even more for myself actually. So if you want to hop on this trade, just send me a request now. I believe within the next couple of months I will be able to find something really nice for you. Why a couple of months at least? Because the line is already very long, as I said, so we are working with a lot of orders right now. Therefore, your order will be, of course, naturally the next in the line. And as you can understand, the quality tourmalines, they don't grow like mushrooms. You have to wait to get the needed amount of them mined, and it takes time. And just a quick reminder that if you're buying that with the purposes of investment, you can always just ask me to resell the stones a bit later. I've told already that I just take a little percentage for that, but generally I can help you with that. Number 9 is a cute tourmaline, also from Afghanistan, but you can see that the color is not the blue one. It's on the contrary very pretty peachy pinkish one. I have got only one gemstone like that, but probably I will be able to find any more if you feel like you are interested in that color specifically. The good thing about this tourmaline that it performs very nicely in the cloudy weather even. The video was made outside in Kabul, and you see that it's still sparkling and shining very pretty. One more very cute gemstone. In this case, it is a kunzite. That was just only one example of a very beautiful looking kunzite, because we have been through tens kilos of the material with them, and most of them are too pale or maybe grayish or just boring in terms of the color, so they are not very much valuable at all. But this one is really good. Besides, it is quite a big one. It's good looking gemstone and it's inexpensive at the same time, so a good choice, I guess. Number 11 is unheated tanzanite, which surprisingly enough I bought not in Tanzania but in Afghanistan as well. How did it happen so? You see, the thing is that Afghan people, they used to like to exchange their emeralds to some other gemstones in order to get the diversity or just to have something interesting in their collection, I don't know. So that unheated tanzanite was exchanged by someone in Afghanistan long time ago, and it was just like sitting there in the supplies forever because nobody obviously could understand what it is there. But when I saw it, I just immediately decided that I have to buy it. Look at this beautiful polychromatic color range. That's stunning. And that is unheated tanzanite, and it still looks very bright and shiny, which is amazing just on its own, because normally unheated tanzanites, they're not interesting, not even a little bit. This one is, on the contrary, very much eye-catching. 12 to 18 are the Ethiopian opals. Some of them are like the black Ethiopian opals. One of them is just the white Ethiopian opal. I will just quickly remind you what does it mean. It does mean that it has anything to do with the Australian black opals, which are totally different story, of course. When you see that kind of black color, black undertone in Ethiopian opal, it means that it has been treated with acid. And we are not hiding it. You will see that it was treated in your official laboratory certificate, which we always attach to the gemstones. This is the only one treatment which we consider to be acceptable and appropriate. Just like the heating applied to sapphires is supposed to be totally okay, or oil treatment for emeralds, all that kind of treatment are supposed to be acceptable. They don't affect the price of the gemstone. They don't decrease their value at any point. And in case of the Ethiopian opals, of course, they don't affect their durability. Because again, some people are afraid that Ethiopian opals you cannot put into water, you cannot wear them if you're swimming or going to shower. Trust me, the Ethiopian opals which we have selected will not be afraid of any of that. If you want to know more about the relationship between opals and water, find in this channel the videos where we were making experiments, and you will know and see with your own eyes which opals can be changed or altered with water and which cannot. Number 19 is again a quartz from Brazil, and as you can see, this little guy have got an empty space inside of it. That is what is called a negative crystal. How does it happen? Long time ago, inside of this quartz there was some sort of a crystal actually. Eventually it evaporated, leaving the empty space inside, but it still keeps that emptiness, it still keeps the shape of the initial crystal. That's why it looks so fabulous and almost like alien. Number 20 is again the quartz from Brazil, and this has got two different types of inclusions. Inside, in the very heart of this cabochon, you can see the gemstones crystal and these beautiful silver silk threads. They are not a rutile, which quite often can appear in that kind of quartz. There is the mineral which is called brutite. However, this is very close to rutile actually. Number 21 is the same quartz with the same type of brutite inclusions, and here they pave the pattern which looks like the absolutely symmetrical silk threads, silver silk threads. That would be a perfect gem for the male ring or any kind of other jewelry. It looks fabulous with any kind of metals. It can be a meteorite metal, it can be a white gold, it can be black gold, yellow gold, silver, whatever you choose. We can pick a very interesting design with this stone. I love working with them because they allow us to release the full power of creativity. Number 22, another variation of the quartz from Brazil, and here the pattern looks fabulous. The owner of the company, Konstantin, have got the ring with the same type of the pattern. It's designed in a Warhammer style, but I believe that kind of unique pattern would look fabulous even in a classic male ring or cocktail ring, I believe. As I have said many times before, quartz, this type of quartz specifically from Brazil with different interesting patterns and inclusions are underestimated at the moment, but their price is growing annually, so it is actually a very attractive investment stone as well for the long-term perspective, and the price so far is not too high yet, so hurry up if you want to buy something unique and which has got a beautiful potential. Number 23 and 24, what you all already know, I guess, it is the forrest quartz, also from Brazil again, and this type of quartz are a bit more well known around the world already. A lot of high jewelry houses, they make the very expensive pieces with that kind of the Brazil quartz. Yes, they are mined in quite sufficient quantities. However, the problem is that the quality of the material is much to be desired in 90% of the cases. So to pick up something really beautiful with very distinguished pattern inside, you have to sort out huge amount of unattractive, unappealing gems. In general, we managed to get 1, maximum 2 good quality forest quartz from Brazil per month. If we are lucky, sometimes we get even none. Number 25 is a blue spinel from Vietnam, and as anything what is mined in Vietnam, it is very expensive and it is getting even more expensive over the years. So basically the Vietnamese spinel, especially of this beautiful blue color, and I'm not mentioning even the hot pink Vietnamese spinel or the electric blue ones, cost a lot by default just because it is a Vietnamese spinel. The same situation we have with Burma rubies, as you know, and basically with any kind of gemstone which was originally coming from Burma, and Vietnamese ones. Both of them are appreciated and sell really quickly and easily No matter how bad the shape of it is, no matter how many imperfections after polishing or cutting it has got, nobody cares about it at all. It is Vietnamese or it is Burmanian, therefore it is expensive. In our case, of course, if there are any kind of flaws in terms of the cutting, we just easily correct the shape of the gemstone just to make sure that it looks nice, and it's good to go. And of course, it is very profitable and promising investment because, as I said, it is expensive now, but it is getting even more expensive all the time. The price has never dropped even a little bit over the last 10 years. It steadily going up. For example, this specific gemstone, this specific blue spinel which you see on the video, will be getting 40% plus every year to its original cost. And again, it doesn't matter that it is a bit dark, that it has got inclusions, nobody will have a look at it. Number 26, 27 and 28 are all black diamonds. And as we discussed it many times, the origin of this gemstone is remaining unknown. There are still arguments about how it appear on our Earth. Maybe it fell on Earth together with the meteorite. Maybe it was formed due to the high temperature and compression when the meteorite hit the ground. In either of these versions, it still has got quite a beautiful story behind it. Anyway, black diamonds are also an investment option because their price increases also very steadily over the years. And I will just quickly remind you that we work with the proper black diamonds which have a solid black color, so they're not transparent at all, and they look just magnificent in our favorite Senior Gems style of Gothic jewelry. And I will just quickly remind you that while the price on the black diamonds is growing, the access to the good quality material, especially of big size, is decreasing, unfortunately. Like nowadays, to get the proper 10 carat plus black diamond, it takes sometimes up to a year, well, or at least several months. Because unfortunately, most of the black diamonds, even if they are dark enough, they have too many ugly inclusions. So it is not an easy task to find the proper, good looking, good quality black diamond actually. Number 29 to 34 are all the beautiful garnets which are coming actually from one deposit in Tanzania. You probably have seen the video when we were visiting the mining there. It is located very deep in a desert in Tanzania, and the old gentleman who owns this place, even though he has lots of money and he can afford anything, still has to struggle with getting water into his house for him and his family and his workers, because that is such a dry region that even the very long, very deep well cannot get to the water layer. Like there is no water at all, no matter what do you do. So you have to just buy it and bring it here by car and everything. However, the place looks beautiful. I mean, it's a very wild, untamed nature. Maasai villages around where people live as their ancestors used to live hundreds of years ago. They still hunt. They still wear the pikes and arrows. So everything looks very much authentic. Sometimes you can see the wild animals walking around the villages, lions somewhere far away, hyena and everything. Absolutely fantastic experience. And the beauty of the deposit of the garnets in that spot is that it produces this wild range of different hues. You can see the dark blood red garnets, you can see the violet and pink garnets, and all of them are coming just from one small deposit. Number 35 to 37 is a set of beautiful twilight spinels, which are also very much beloved and praised by you guys. Well, and not only by you, as we can tell by the price, which has increased several times for just a few years. You will see that in the first set of spinels, the hue is slightly different, which is okay. It's not really easy job to match the perfect pair of the color gemstones because, as you should already know by now, after all our educational videos, there are no two identical gemstones. It is just not possible. They will always be slightly different in hue, or maybe in undertone or something else. That is why it is actually very easy to tell when you're walking in the shop if it's the artificial gems are sold there or not. If you see the endless amount of beautiful and very much identical in color rubies, emeralds or whatever, you know straight away that are all synthetic ones. Natural gemstones will always be unique and individual. Also wanted to say a few words about the color of spinel, because spinel can demonstrate insane amount of different hues and color combinations, and the price depends on how vivid, how beautiful and how rare the color is. For example, this dark spinel is actually quite in high demand in the market. What we can't say about the so-called wine red spinel, because the wine red spinel is very widespread, so it's easy to find. It's not very much pretty, not very much unique in terms of the hue, and not many people actually are after that. That's why be wise when you're choosing the spinel, especially if you're choosing it with the purposes of future investment. Number 38 and 39 are stunning Maasai garnet, as we call them. You can see this bright, juicy, orange reddish color. That is their main attribute. And unfortunately, it is very rare occasion when we can find something of a good quality, because most of them, they're coming with a lot of not just inclusions are totally fine in terms of the garnet, but with crackles. Why does it happen so? Because the Maasai garnet sits on a very hard rock, and therefore when Maasai are trying to excavate it, they damage the crystal itself quite often. It also happens because the mining goes not in a very much technically advanced way. I mean, for the 21st century, they could have used a bit more modern techniques. However, Maasai, they live in unite with nature, and they are mostly not very much familiar with the achievements of the technologies. Just a reminder that you can also find the video about our journey to Maasai village and to the mining of Maasai garnet in this YouTube channel. These stones, they're not just beautiful, they also grow in price very quickly. For example, the price increased twice already over the last year. So some people who have bought it some time ago, they actually already made some money and sold their stones with our help. Number 40 is also a recognizable gem, which is a tsavarite, this bright green color you cannot confuse with anything else in the world. And their prices are also growing really, really fast. Nowadays, a 10 carat big tsavarite costs around $120,000. Well, of course, it is the price of the jewelry boutiques or the shops. In big cities, I obviously can find it a bit cheaper for you. However, the price of this gemstone is growing very fast, and it has got a huge potential because there is only one mining of this type of a gemstone in the whole world. Moreover, the amount of material coming out from that deposit is not very much vast. I mean, sometimes we have to wait for the good quality tsavarite for a year or even longer. That also explains that as soon as we get it in our hands, it sells actually really quick. And of course, the bonus of these green gemstones comparing to emeralds, for example, is that it is a way much brighter and it looks much more appealing in any country. I mean, even if you wear the jewelry with this stone somewhere in Germany, for example, it still looks very bright. It's not going to turn pale green or dark green without the sunlight. What we can't say about emeralds, for example. Number 42 is a famous Malaya garnet. Nowadays, many people associate this name with a specific type of a color. However, initially that's how the territory where the mining is located was called. This actually was a gemstone which has proved my ability to predict the future in terms of the prices on gemstones. Because when it has been discovered around 1.5 years ago, I told that this is a stone which you want to invest in, because the price will be growing 100%, and it did. Besides its big investment potential, I love this gemstone for the variety of the color it can perform. This unique pink of Malaya garnet can be starting from the very gentle pale pink color close to the skin tone actually at some point, and it can be that bright as you see on the video right now. Number 43 is a very unusual looking spinel from Tanzania. The place is called Tunduru. I guess eventually I will have to visit this place, even though it's not going to be very much pleasant journey, because basically this spot is located somewhere in the middle of nowhere, literally. There is no infrastructure, no food, no water, of course, and a lot of other pleasures of living in a desert. However, as usual, nothing will stop us on our way to the best gemstones and the way where they are mined. Shall I say that everything in this stone is absolutely beautiful? I love the hue. Well, and obviously I do enjoy these beautiful inclusions in that. Here we have got both rutile elements and a little bit of negative crystals, which creates a mini universe in a gem. Moreover, this specific spinel also changes its color a little bit. Under electric lamps it will be a bit more purplish. Under the natural light it will be closer to the blue color. Number 44 is the yellow sapphire, unheated. Why it is especially important in this case? Because for some reason, I don't know, honestly I don't know why, but people who fancy astrology tend to order specifically yellow sapphires and specifically not heated. I don't know, maybe it has something to do with the special rituals or the date of birth or whatever. I have no idea, honestly. The main thing that as soon as you're happy with that, we're happy too. Number 45 is a polychrome tourmaline from Rwanda. I believe that tourmalines with the combination of colors always look better than the plain one. They are much more appealing, I guess, and they're much more fancier. Here we have got the beautiful pale lemon yellow color in the middle and warmer honey gold color on both sides. It also looks very pretty that the color zones are kind of symmetrical, so it also creates a sort of a pattern inside the gemstone. And also these type of tourmalines, they perform very beautiful and bright colors no matter how gloomy the weather is. Specifically this video has been meant when it was raining. Number 46 is the last gemstone in today's range, and that is what is believed to be the most ancient gemstones in the history of humanity, which is a zircon. This time it is a green unheated zircon coming from Sri Lanka. You remember that in Burma we have been visiting the mining of the zircons, which are getting the bright blue colors after being heated. In Sri Lanka they don't do that. That's why the color range is wider. So I need to come back to that country, I guess, to have a proper look at the deposits of these stones. In this specific case, the zircon also most probably has been exposed to radiation naturally over millions of times in the ground, and you can see also the slight effect of opalization here, which makes it even more interesting. So that is for today. A reminder to you that if you want to order any of these gemstones, you just need to look up the number underneath this video and send me the message with it to WhatsApp, which is also attached under the video. Have a good day, take care of yourself, and see you next time.